What's up, everyone? Welcome into DodgerHeads, presented by DodgerBlue.com. My name is Jeff Spiegel, joined this morning by Daniel Starkand, and I've got a fun little exercise for you, Daniel. We know the Dodgers have talked about some options at solving some of the bottom of the order woes, maybe finding a solution in the middle of the infield long term. Well, there's another guy who is theoretically available now that I want to play a little game with you, and folks that are following Major League news might know who I'm talking about already. But let's play a little mystery game here, Daniel, and let me give you a player A and player B scenario. Player A, player B, we're talking about both basically a 4-year sample. One guy played 150 less games than the other, but player A, higher batting average, higher on-base percentage, higher slugging percentage. Player B, higher home run total. Players A and B, basically the same weighted runs created plus, the same wins above replacement, while player A is actually a plus defender, 15 outs above average. Player B is a negative 14 outs above average, which is how you get similar wins above replacement despite 150 game difference. These are two players, one of whom is 31, the other is 26. One is available for free, the other would cost you a lot. One is under team control for another year, the other one would be a free agent at the end of the year. One has clubhouse issues, the other does not. And one is 2 years removed from the 4-year stretch that I'm showing you right now. The other is months removed from the stretch that I'm talking about. Of course, player A is Tim Anderson. Player B is Bo Bichette. And Daniel, the reason I walk through this exercise is because Tim Anderson was DFA'd by the Marlins today after signing a 1-year, $5 million contract in the offseason. Obviously, Anderson's stretch ended in 2022. Bichette's has extended through this year. But it's an interesting exercise to just remember how good Tim Anderson was for a 4-year stretch, because he's basically the same guy that Bo Bichette was. You could make a case he was better than Bo Bichette was over the last 3.5 years. And yet we are talking about a guy who peaked in 2020, 21, 22 range. This year for Tim Anderson, we've got some numbers, the last 2 years since that stretch, 188 games, a 235 batting average, 271 on base, 274 slug, 1 home run, a 51 weighted runs created plus, negative 1.4 wins above replacement. Even the defense has disappeared, negative 2 outs above average. So give me your take on Tim Anderson, DFA'd again by the Marlins today. So if he clears waivers, which I'm expecting him to clear waivers, he would be available for free, or if the Dodgers were really that interested, they could try trading for him. But give me your thoughts on the possibility of Tim Anderson and if he's a fit with the Dodgers as just sort of a free Kevin Biggio replacement.
Look, if you could bring back 2021 or 2022 Tim Anderson, whatever those numbers you were putting up, I'd be interested in that guy. The issue is that he's just not that guy anymore. He's not even close to that guy. And if we're being quite honest, he's not a Major League Baseball player the way he's been playing the last 2 years. And you mentioned the clubhouse stuff as well. So I just don't know if it's necessarily worth that headache. Like, I think in a world where the Dodgers didn't already have Chris Taylor on the roster, didn't already have Kike Hernandez on the roster, didn't already have, you mentioned Kevin Biggio on the roster, who knows how much longer he's going to last. But if they didn't already have like 3 utility type guys that couldn't hit, then I would be interested here. But if you're going to sign Tim Anderson, might as well just stick with Chris Taylor and Kike Hernandez. Like, to me, as we always talk about, like as it gets close to the trade deadline, like when you're the Dodgers, you're looking kind of for that top end talent or nothing at all, pretty much. Like, you already have those mid-tier type guys. You have a lot of guys in AAA who could provide that type of production if you gave them a chance. And the Dodgers haven't even given any of those guys a chance, like Andre Lipsius or Trey Sweeney, like those type of guys. So to me, I don't see a fit here. Like, I'd love. Like, I used to be a big Tim Anderson fan back when he was putting up the numbers that you put up there. Like, if they were able to get that guy, I'd be all over it. But we're talking about arguably the worst player in baseball over the last 2 years here. And considering the struggles we've seen from the Dodgers bench type guys, I don't know if they need to add another one of those guys to the mix.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm with you. I'm not expecting anything from Tim Anderson. I think the next team that signs him will most likely be disappointed. I guess the reason I'm intrigued by Tim Anderson is because we already have Kevin Biggio on the roster. Like, if you told me that 3 days from now the report comes out that the Dodgers have signed Tim Anderson off of waivers and DFA'd Kevin Biggio, like I'd be totally happy with that because at least Anderson has, like, we've seen it before. And again, I know we've had debates on this show about whether or not the Dodgers can actually develop hitters. All of the guys in the organization seem to believe they're good at developing hitters. And so if the Dodgers got a couple weeks with Tim Anderson, maybe having flamed out of Chicago and Miami, maybe he's a new man. Maybe things have calmed down. Maybe the Dodgers actually, unlike the Marlins, have the type of clubhouse that he could come into and not be a problem because he has guys like Miguel Rojas, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, those types of players who are already in the building. I'm just like, if they're not going to trade for somebody, why not give Tim Anderson a 2 or 3 week trial? He's 31. I realize that, but at the same time, like, he's only 31. It's not like he's 36. I know the peak was 2 years ago, but I'm just, if we're not going to make a trade in the next 2 weeks, this is the type of guy that for no cost I would take. And I'm with you, like, looking at the bottom of the lineup and saying, why do they need another of these guys? Well, they already have Biggio. Like, they already have that roster spot taken. So I would be all for ditching Biggio, trying to get interested in Tim Anderson and just seeing what happens. Like, maybe you find something that you can unlock. Maybe playing for a competitive team, unlike the White Sox and Marlins, is what he needs to get things going. Maybe they can tweak a couple things in the swing. Again, I'm not saying he's going to be peak Tim Anderson, but I'm kind of in why not mode, Daniel.
Look, that's fair. Like, it's not like Kevin Biggio has done literally anything since he got here. Like, I don't think any of us are emotionally attached to Kevin Biggio. Like, if he got DFA'd in the next hour, I don't think we'd be too bummed about that. So in that sense, yeah, like, if you replace him with Tim Anderson, you're probably going to get the same results. I'd say it's just a right-handed batter instead of a left-handed batter. So, like, if you're talking about like a no risk type deal where you could just DFA him in 2 weeks if it's not working out, like, obviously, like, I don't really care about that. Like, my thing is just like, if you're expecting him to come in and get the Tim Anderson from 2 years ago, that's just probably not going to happen. So I'm with you. Like, if you're swapping out Kevin Biggio and signing Tim Anderson to a minimum deal and you want to give him a couple weeks until the deadline to see if he can make some swing tweaks or whatever, like, you know, if they could unlock something with him, go for it. But I'm just like, if that happens, I'm not going to be sitting here expecting like significant changes. Like, I'll hope for the best, of course, but my expectations would be really low.
Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Would you take a 2-week flyer on Tim Anderson, replacing Kevin Biggio on the roster, seeing if they could unlock a thing or two with his swing and maybe get back to even 50% of what he used to be? Again, this is a guy who used to be a plus defender at shortstop as well as a plus hitter. And so if they could get a guy who's hitting over 300, obviously we're not expecting that, but could you get a guy that's hitting like 260, 270 plus defense, maybe unlock a little bit more of that on base and slug that he used to have? Remains to be seen. Let us know what you think in the comments below. That is Daniel Starkand. I am Jeff Spiegel. As always, we appreciate you joining us here on Dodger Blue. Make sure you check out our YouTube page, Dodger Blue 1958. Subscribe, ring the notification bell. Check out all the stuff we've got on there. Tons of minor league interviews. And of course, I keep plugging it. Check out Lakers Nation as well. I know it's been a rough couple days, Lakers fans, but Daniel and the guys, Trevor over on the Lakers Nation YouTube page, they're trying their best, all right? They're trying to get you the latest rumors, comments, maybe DeMar DeRozan, interesting move there, has been floated around. So check out Lakers Nation for all the latest on that. Enjoy the rest of your day, folks. As always, go Dodgers.